Yo, it's time to step into the business bubble.
I'm getting my bubble tea. You work with Jamie Zhu,
Yep.
right? And you've been working with him for a solid year. You also do copywriting as well, right? So script writing, you write it with him. All of this stuff.
So when I'm editing, the way we do it, we don't really script it as we should, like professionally. So when I'm editing a video and I'm like, okay, we need a hook here, a tension hook, or we need a voiceover here, I will like give the baseline voiceover script for it, and then we'll bounce off each other. What do we think sounds right? You know, what's going to keep the viewers engaged?
Yeah.
And then we go from there. You know, we're always bouncing off each other, me and Jamie.
So how do you make sure that you guys don't get cancelled, or do you actually care about that?
Yeah, of course. I guess that was a tough question. I mean, like, we won't do any topics that would get us cancelled, you know?
Sure.
But if we do a topic like that, then we're just going to be neutral about it, you know? We're going to show both sides of the argument, not really say our opinion if it is cancel-worthy.
Because I remember one of the videos got demonetized because you used the word, was it incest?
Yeah, well, a lot of our videos are getting demonetized lately.
Huh?
A lot of them, man.
Damn. By YouTube? Or?
By YouTube. Facebook's more lenient, but YouTube, man, they're very strict. You know, if you say like drugs or heaps of swear words, which a lot of our characters that we do invest in, a lot of them swear. So
for the average listener who doesn't make money off YouTube, what does demonetization look like?
Yep. So obviously, when you post a YouTube video, you can do checks first, right? And it will tell you if it's suitable for advertisers. And most of the time, it's fine. Then you start getting views, you start getting traction, and they manually check the video, and they hear like words like drugs, sex, you know, alcohol, swear words, and YouTube says it's not suitable for a lot of advertisers. They add it on that type of video, so they demonetize you. You stop getting paid for that video, and it stops getting sent out to a broader audience.
So you lose your view count, and you also don't get paid for the stuff that the views that you do get.
Yeah, but it's like a lose-lose. Like our Eshe video that we just posted was one of our best videos so far.
Oh yeah.
And it was actually going really well. It was popping, and then it got to like, I think it was 40K, got demonetized, and then flatlined.
Damn.
So the views were going up like this,
Yep.
And then it flatlined as soon as we got demonetized.
Oh damn! So they really almost like strip it off everything, and
Yeah, man.
so does that mean that you have to now monitor what you put on there in order to stay relevant to YouTube?
I guess we just got to tone it down a bit,
Okay.
which is hard because we like to get like funny characters,
Right.
you know, and they're always going to swear.
Yeah.
And our whole Australian tour that we just came back from was like, most of the videos are like negative topics because that's what works.
Yeah.
And obviously we got those types of characters once again, and now I'm editing and I'm have to bleep all these words, but you can't use the censor beep. If you use the censor beep, then the AI algorithm knows that it's heaps of swear words and they'll just automatically demonetize it. So now I have to figure out ways how to, you know, bypass that algorithm, which is like cutting the audio at certain parts, you know. So the one I was working on today should be going up tomorrow night.
Okay.
I had to cut out so many like drug words, swear words and stuff without using a beep. So we're going to see how that goes, but
Right.
I'm sure we'll get demonetized still. You know,
Damn.
The computers are very smart.
But doesn't that lose the authenticity from your side though?
Yeah, of
You
course
can't
it
be
does.
you can't really be you or you guys.
I mean, the good thing about us is like Jamie doesn't swear, and whenever he puts me on camera, I don't swear either.
Yeah.
Because we need to keep our Christian testimony. But when it comes to the other characters, you know, they're always going to swear. So there's other stuff we can do where we can cut out a certain bit of them swearing, where you can just have them saying a sentence, but cut out the swear word, and it still keeps authenticity. But there are parts in videos where like you need the swear words to keep it funny and engaging, and it shows a lot of people's characters, and that's how we get character development, you know.
So you get character development even in the 30 seconds that they're on the screen.
Yeah, like it just depends how good I edit it. So like character development, you know, normally. So obviously you've seen our videos, right? So the first couple of seconds of the video is like quick interviews of people. That's not character development. That's just building up the storyline of the place we're going to. So if it's a dangerous place, is this place dangerous? We ask them. Yes, it is dangerous, you know. Then we do that, and then we normally find a character at the end to invest in, and we take a deeper dig into their life.
And is this a template that you use for every single video?
So far, that's the way we've been doing it. Normally, when we go and film and edit, it's just like we'll get whatever footage we can, and then we'll see what story we can make out of it.
So where did you guys learn this? Where did you guys take this template from and do it yourself?
So I think the beginning of the videos was like, you know how Jamie does his TikToks? What's the best and worst thing about this? So we incorporated that into the first couple of seconds of our videos, and then you just lead us to different locations and different places, and we just play it by ear and see how it goes.
So what about when you are using? I mean, obviously you have your own personal dreams as well as coming from doing a little bit of content creation to now doing full-time content creation with Jamie.
Yep.
What's your end goal?
So me and Jamie have the same end goal. So I want to help him achieve his dreams and his goal, and that will help me achieve my dream and my goal. My vlog channel and the live streaming that I'm starting to do on Kick, that's just like an extra revenue stream for me. I want to build that up. I love to vlog. I love creating content. I love when people say, hey, I watched your video, I enjoyed it. It's a sick feeling, It's
a nice feeling.
Yeah, you know what it's like. So I'm just building those up on the side. I'm in the process of hiring an editor to edit my vlogs so I can just focus on Jamie. When I'm editing my own vlogs and I see that Jamie's business is lacking behind where we need to finish edits, then I'll always put my stuff aside and focus on Jamie because the end goal is Jamie's brand. So yeah.
And then define his brand then as his content creator?
Define his brand?
Yeah. How do you define his brand?
Oh, it's just his brand, like him as a person, his content,
Yeah.
His influence, you could say.
So what does that, if we break that down, what does that look like then? So if I said to someone, if I said to an alien, I said, hey, look, in this world, there's different kind of people who are bankers, people who are accountants, people who work in nursing. Sometimes some people are teachers. And then there's this crew here called the influencers, right? If you're so how would you explain what Jamie does as an influencer to said alien?
So he makes engaging, funny, entertaining videos with the message at the end, and that message ties into who he is as a person and what his goal is. Which is his life. He lives for God now. Ever since becoming a Christian, and he's trying to help other people find God as well.
That's awesome. And then through these videos, how does he achieve that brand of that? Aside from obviously, finding opportunities to put God in there, how is he branding himself as the influencer to follow?
We're still in early stages of it.
Cool.
We're still in early stages of it, but he actually got an encounter with someone on the street where they were like, hey, I didn't even recognize it was you until I saw your cross.
Ah, that's cool.
So that was something really good to know,
Would he ever buy merch? Would he ever create merch?
Yeah, he would.
Sell the crosses.
I said that to him as a joke, but I don't know about that.
Yeah, and then all donations go to, World Vision or Compassion, one of the Christian organizations.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
The world's our oyster, whatever.
No, that's a really cool mindset to have as well, because I think before I was about 25, when I was working in the bank under a boss or something like that, you think that I can only do so much, this is my limit, right? But then when you kind of jump into, I don't know, something there's a moment in everyone's life where it clicks and you go, I really can actually do whatever that I set my mind to. Any person that I want to reach or I want to meet or something like that, it is possible. Have you crossed that boundary have you crossed that threshold where you're like, hey, I can actually do anything that I set my mind to now?
Great question. So when I was finding God when I was 19, Luke, right, my cousin?
I love Luke. We all love Luke.
I know, me and Luke, we used to just see each other at family events, but we never used to talk. We'd just be like, hi, or whatever,
Really?
And then while I was in the process of finding God, I went to my grandparents' house just to go visit them, and Luke was there. And he just started talking to me about personal development. And it was just perfect timing, because I was trying to follow God, stop, drinking and partying, whatever. And he just knew what to say at the right time. And he just told me, he's like, listen to Tony Robbins, get into personal development. And I said to him, I was like, Luke, you didn't waste your time talking to me today. So ever since then, I started listening to all these people. And it's actually Tony Robbins. He said something that was like, just believe in yourself, and if you fail, if you don't give up, then you can't fail. And that really resonated with me. And as soon as I started to believe in myself, that's when everything changed. And I started my first business at 19, which was Amp Entertainment, a DJing business, DJ photography business.
Oh, yeah.
And that was massive for me because in high school, I hated high school. I was like the dumbest kid in school. I did not enjoy it at all.
Yeah.
So when I started that business, it was a big this to the world, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, that went very well. You know, I was killing it. I was about to pivot. I was about to scale that business, and then that's when I got saved around that time. And God let me know straight away. He was like, "I don't want you DJing anymore," you know. And I was fighting with God for a while. It was like a tug of war. He was trying to, like, you know, take the business away from me, and I was like, "No," you know. I was like, "No, like, this is my baby. I just grew it up." And then I decided to, like, give it up for God. And I was so depressed, but I was working at a warehouse. I was like, you know, God, I was making all this money. Now I'm depressed working in a warehouse, you know, like, why'd you take this business away from me? And then a year later, he blessed me with working with Jamie. And the only reason, and Jamie hired me because I was a Christian as well. Hired me on the spot. So you see, that's how God works, you know?
Yeah.
So it was like delayed gratification, but I didn't know, like, he was going to bless me with my dream job. You know, I always wanted to do YouTube when I was younger.
Yeah.
But I didn't believe in myself. I didn't have that self-belief, you know, I just give up. So yeah.
So what's this? So when you first actually started editing videos, what was the biggest like mind, like that click that you go, oh my gosh, is that what it's about? Or, you know, oh, that's what hooks are about. Or what was that moment for you?
When I learned about hooks?
About hooks, or what was that moment where you realized that, oh, this is the secret behind how to attract viewers or draw viewers, or what filmmaking is actually like?
Yeah, so
it's a loaded question. There's no right answer. I just wanted to see what, you know, where you're.
So when I was like 8, there was if you remember, a Windows Movie Maker.
Yeah.
I started creating videos on there. I was like, I'd grab clips from the Shrek movie because I love Shrek.
Yes.
And I'd just add a song under it and I'd post it on YouTube. And I was like, this is actually fun, you know, you make something and you're like, you can show it to people, you know, your imagination you know, it is manifest and you can show people. And I was like, wow, this is actually fun. So ever since then I started editing. But then the second part of your question about hooks, that's when everything changed for me. So before I started working for Jamie, I didn't know about audience retention, hooks, anything like that. And TikTok was out and I was like, bro, why didn't I ever go viral? I was like, I thought I had a curse in me. I could never go viral. And my thing was, I was had a filmmaker brain where I was like, start the scene slow, you know, build up the emotion, anticipation.
Yeah.
But then I realized, I was like, nah, you need 3 seconds to hook the person in, and it's just going to be fast paced. Don't get attached to, best piece of advice I could give content creators is don't get attached to content. Do you know what I mean when I say that?
No, tell me more. So
when you're editing a video, right, obviously you can't put the whole raw footage in.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this is such a good scene, but also this is a good scene. Oh, what do I do?
Yeah.
Don't get attached to it. Just be like, I'm choosing this one, and just delete the other clip and don't think about it, and continue to do that. And that will help you make great videos and faster videos and videos that will actually reach people. Because if you want to keep both those clips in, then you're risking getting more viewers. You're risking people clicking off. So yeah, don't get attached to the content.
Right. So would you say be more attached to what you're trying to achieve through the story? Yes.
Just tell a good story and don't get attached to content. If you're telling a good story and you have a good video, your video will do well. If you have a rubbish video with all the great edits, sound effects, cuts every 2 seconds, it's not going to slap if it's a rubbish video. Just make good content.
So you recently did this whole course on storytelling, and I think it's still going, right?
Yeah, I'm still learning about storytelling, yeah.
What have you found so far about it that's kind of awoken you to something?
There's like rhythm and pattern and emotion. You know, like you need the rhythm of the video to go well, you know, so it flows well, right? Mm-hmm. So say, I'll give you an example, Jamie's videos. Interviews, they're fast, you know, nice flowy pattern, they're fast, but there's a nice flow to it. And you want to get to the part where you want the people to feel their emotion, and that's when you can slow down the video, where it's less cuts. So you're building up the video, like, oh, is this a dangerous place? You know, you're building it up, and then you find a dangerous person, and then you slow it down, and you invest into that character, and that's where the emotion comes in. You put the music in, and people are already hooked, you know?
Right.
So you have to know when people can get carried away with doing fast cuts all the time, but that's when you get rid of the emotion. So you have to know when to have fast cuts and when to not cut it and just keep the emotion.
Right. And because you have that knowledge, when you watch movies, is it different? Are you analyzing how are they introducing the story to you?
All the time. So it's very different, like YouTube and movies. Movies, you know, people are there to sit there for like 2 hours to watch it, you know? So their brains are already like switched on to, you know, like be calm, you know, just chill, you know? But what I found really interesting was I was watching the new Ant-Man movie, and they're so good at doing hooks in movies.
Yeah?
You know, you don't even realize it. So like there's a part, have you seen the new Ant-Man movie?
I love Marvel.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So there was a part where that old chick where she was down in the quantum place, whatever it's called, and her daughter was like, what happened down there? And she was like, I can't tell you, you know, but it was so dramatic. She's like, I can't tell you, you know, yet, but I'll tell you later. And then me, I was like, I want to know what happened. So you're watching to the end to see what happened down there. And that's a hook in itself. And that's just one that I identified, but they do so many that, so even if you're looking for it, you won't be able to find it because they're so good at telling stories, because these are the best of the best storytellers.
Right. Now I can almost imagine it now because, well, I put on Quantum Mania the other day as well to watch it. And yes, you're right. And they talked about, like, Janet went down to the quantum realm for the first time. And, you know, she talks about it for a while, but you don't actually get it. But they actually chuck in other hooks there. So there's like maybe 3 or 4 hooks going at the same time.
Well, that's right.
Is that what you're trying to make?
Yeah, that's like,
is it going?
there's so many hooks going on. And like I'm a bit cut. Like when I watch movies, I can't even find most of the hooks, you know, because they're just so good at doing it.
Yeah. That's the problem with, I find that though, streaming at home and Netflix, some of those, I don't know, like those B-grade movies on Netflix, they're just, within about 15 minutes, there's no hook, there's no story, and it just plateaus, and I usually just turn it off. That's the problem with some of the bad ones.
Yeah, like the B-rated movie, what are they called?
B-grade?
B-grade movies.
Yeah.
Like they'll have like all the correct scripting, right? They'll have the scripting all down packed, but then if they don't have any hooks, then, you know, like, the movie's gone. You need hooks.
When you're listening to music, are you a music? I mean, you're a DJ from before, right?
Yeah, I used to be a DJ.
Yeah.
I try not to listen to music. You know, I have my phases where I stop listening to music, but then you have to replace it. One Christian told me once, you have to replace your worldly music with something else. And if you don't replace it, then you're always going to fall back into the worldly music. And I'm always at that stage where I stop listening to music for 6 months and then I'll start again.
This is an interesting one because do you listen to Christian music then?
No.
These days? No? Okay, cool. Actually, I'd love to get your opinion on this, Carl. Music hooks, right?
Yeah.
On music hooks, you want to jump in?
No.
You don't want to jump in.
I can hear me.
So how do artists hold listeners now through music hooks? How do I not turn off or change the song after about 5 seconds? What are they doing to me?
Well, like, go with like "Don't Start Now," right?
Which one?
"Don't Start Now," Dua Lipa.
Oh, Dua Lipa, yeah.
She just plays the chorus, the very first thing.
I've noticed that. They hit you with the chorus first.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, that's a sick hook. And then she goes in the verse.
Yeah.
So you already love the chorus, and you're like, I want to keep listening.
Right.
It's the same as videos, right? Like you would do like Diary of the Business CEO.
Oh yeah.
It's always like a 30-second trailer of like the speaker of the guest.
Right. Of the most.
Or what you do as well. Like in your videos you'd always do like what happens, like
the coming up.
Yeah, coming
up's the same.
Yeah.
Right.
You always thought about that with music. I was like, I wonder how they do the hooks.
There you go.
But yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
But what about if I don't want to have the chorus first? How do I hook the?
Well, that's just, or it's like a lick. It's like it's literally called a hook.
They didn't even hide it.
It's literally just called a song hook, and it's like a guitar line.
Yeah, that's true.
That catches you, or like, that's sick. I want to keep listening to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor guy who plays pads. He didn't get nothing. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I like that. And then so going back to we're talking about movies, right? We're talking about movies and hooks. Okay, so when it comes to those hooks, right? I want to know, like, what are the specific hooks these days that people should use at the beginning of their videos if they're going to try to go viral?
Depends on platform.
That's the thing. So Instagram, and that's exactly where I wanted to go, because now Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and YouTube, they all have different ways of going viral, right? What I've found is that Instagram is actually really hard to go viral through hooks. Instagram is really good is if you have a certain meme, and then because the DM function is so good, you like, and then you'll share it with someone, and that's what gets videos viral.
It's annoying for like content creators. It's always like the stupid stuff that goes viral that has like no value, or just memes. You know?
memes that go viral on IG. That's why I find it really hard to go viral on IG. But it's on TikTok, easy.
Yeah, TikTok's good. I mean, for TikTok, you need 3 hooks, right? You need the visual hook, the text hook, and then what you're going to say, that hook. If you have all 3 of those, then you're going viral, if it's a good video.
And then Facebook is pretty much, through Facebook Reels, right? How does that algorithm work?
Facebook Reels?
Yeah.
I think it's the same as Instagram, isn't it? Because
right?
like you post on Instagram and it says you want to recommend this to Facebook Reels, so it goes on there automatically.
Right.
I guess it's just like, are there more viewers on Facebook? More users?
I have more on Instagram, but most of my users or followers on Instagram are actually in Australia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's like 70% Australia.
Yeah. I think there's just the older demographics on Facebook, so I guess if your video appeals to them, then you'll get more views.
Do you notice that there's a difference between what Gen Z, millennials, and Gen X watch?
You'd be surprised, actually. Like TikTok, right? If you look at your analytics, just see who's watching. Like, some people you get like 65-year-olds watching, like it's just, especially on TikTok, it's so random. Like a lot of people think, and heard this on a course that I did. It was like, bro, there's like so many different types of ages on TikTok. You think it's just young kids, bro. There's like 60-year-olds on there. There's like grandmas on there.
Damn, it's so easy to use, right?
So easy to use.
Yeah,
it's like the gambling slots. That's what's so addictive.
Someone said that they've perfected gambling.
Yeah,
I read an article that says TikTok has perfected gambling.
It's the same as Facebook.
Facebook is like that.
Facebook did it first. I read an article a long time ago that it was the same.
What did they say?
Yeah, just like it's like gambling. Like you're just swiping,
hoping that the next one will just hit.
Yeah,
give you that dopamine hit, right?
Hit. Yeah, it's all the same, man.
Maybe the next video. Oh, maybe the next video.
Yeah.
And it takes up the full screen, so you don't know what's happening next, right?
Yeah, and then when you even think about it, like Facebook's not even just videos. So there's like other stuff. So imagine how other people hook people in with photos. A lot of advertisements on Facebook is just a screenshot or something. And then that's like another thing. It's like when you're watching a TikTok video, you're like, why did this go viral? So when you're on Facebook, you're like, why does this have so many likes? You just try to identify that yourself, and that's how you become like the best at what you do when it comes to content.